Welcome back to the Shoutout podcast, back after a long time and looking forward to an active 2025. Let's get straight into it. My guest today is a young entrepreneur who has been making headlines by recently winning two major awards, the Times of India Award for the Best New Cafe, and along with that, more recently, Economic Times Award. He's someone who has his hands on multiple successful businesses, not only in Nagaland but also has set up base outside the state. He is humble, young, smart, hardworking. Welcome to the podcast, Mika Shohe.
Thank you so much, bro.
So let's just start with that. I want you to just tell us a little bit about, because these are two major awards that you recently won, right? So why don't you just the two awards, explain what it was, how you got into it, and all that. No?
So this Times of India award is under food and nightlife.
Okay.
So every year they have this award. So we got nominated in two categories. First one was best coffee.
Okay.
And then the second one was like best newcomer cafe.
Okay.
So we got an award in this best newcomer cafe under Times of India nightlife and under casual dining.
Okay.
So this was the award. I think it was because of the support of all the Naga people, because after getting nominated, it was a voting
system.
Yeah, voting system,
Right,
and that's how we got through it.
Yeah, I also shared it a lot
Thank you so
everywhere. But yeah, I think that's a big shout out to everyone who votes. I mean, it makes a difference, right?
Yes, a lot.
You were also saying like how by winning this award, it's given your business such a big lift, right?
Yes.
Like the presence or the
True, and also like this Economic Times,
Right.
leader of the East. So they select the winners from the Times of India winners.
Okay.
After that only they select the leaders of the East.
All right.
So that is how I got nominated, and then I won the award.
And that award was for the best leader, or can you just, what was it?
So that is like Economic Times leader of the East. So under F&B.
Under food and beverages,
Yes.
okay. So for those that don't know, we'll be discussing this later in detail, but this was for his newly opened Cafe Captain Americano in Kolkata.
Yes.
So we'll get into that in detail. Why don't we start with the shoutouts? So my shoutout for this episode goes out to the youth of Nagaland, especially the students who are appearing their board exams or have already completed their exams, 10 and 12th. This is a really crucial time for these people in their lives, and it's also a time where they can get easily distracted by so many things. So I want to give a big shout out to all of those who are, keeping their head down, working hard, staying focused. So shout out to all of you and stay ambitious.
My shout out goes to this 3% who have been promoting and supporting the local businesses, especially the new ones in the market. So big shout out to Yang T Imchen, Yatra Kit, and Imlison Pongen.
And I think these are they're more.
They are YouTubers and influencers.
Yeah, I think they have a big role to play in
Yes.
supporting businesses.
So a lot of people don't give shout out to them, or they are the one giving shout out to all the businesses.
all the time instead.
So
no?
yeah, this time I thought we'll do something different.
That's nice. Yeah, that also will be touching on when we're talking about business and the importance of influencers or social media and technology also. So let's start with the backstory. Just you can give us a little bit about your upbringing. How was your school days?
So I have done my schooling from Delhi Public School
Okay.
till class 10. Then 11 and 12 I went to Hyderabad. I did my biology, physics and chemistry. Then after that I've done my BSc in horticulture and masters in horticulture as well. So yeah, I grew up with my three sisters, mom and dad. So we have been in Kohima for quite a long time. Then after that we shifted to Dimapur. And yeah, I think my whole life was
How were you as a kid? Were you
I was
studious?
very active.
Sports?
I was active in sports, cultural programs. Then I can't say I was studious, but I think I was an average student. But after my BSc and during my BSc and MSc, I became quite studious, trying to focus, because I think my circle, I've been friends with all the people from the south and north. So just trying to go along with them.
keep up with them?
Keeping up with them. Like I became I tried to focus a little bit, but I was not like a topper or anything like that.
And how did you get into that line? Was there something specific that you were following, or was it, what was?
So actually, if I think about it, till class 10, like I wanted to be a pilot.
Okay.
Yeah. But I was very bad in physics and maths. So these are, I think, the main
Very crucial,
subjects.
yeah.
So that I couldn't do it. So 11 and 12, I thought like, I had no clue what I have to study. So since biology, I didn't know that I was good in biology also, but I just took biology and physics. I was a little lost. So biology, physics and chemistry, that was my subject. So I started that, then 2 years, it was a 2 years course, 11 and 12, inter-college. So somehow I got through. After that, like, I didn't know what to do. I had so many ambition actually. I wanted to
Tell
be
us, share, what are some of the things that
I
you
wanted to be a pilot. That was my first. After that, a lot of pressure from parents. I think we'll be discussing that later.
Yeah.
From everybody, like,
But that was what
service.
civil services, yeah.
After 10th, I was playing football, so I even thought of becoming a footballer at one point. So then I joined like BSc horticulture, and that's how I started.
So along this whole time, you mentioned all the other things that you wanted to, or you were thinking of, becoming, but you'd never mentioned like a businessman there. How
Yes.
did that come about? Like
So I think after my BSc, when I started my MSc, then I was doing my horticulture. So horticulture is basically like the study of fruits, vegetables,
Right.
flowers and all that. So I thought like, there's so many potentials in Nagaland, especially when it comes to fruit, because by default we are organic farmers.
Yeah.
Naga farmers are all organic by
Right.
default. So I thought, why not use our resources and do something in Nagaland? So that's how my entrepreneurial journey started.
And then let's get straight into it, because right after, now you told me that during college or right after college you were offered a job outside.
Yes, that was after my master degree. I was like the first Naga from my college to clear NET, National Eligible Test.
Okay.
So I was the first one to qualify that, and then I got an job offer there in our university. But that was just not my thing. I didn't.
Where was this?
It was in Allahabad, Uttar Pradesh. So
And what was the job offer?
So that was a job offer for assistant professor.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't see myself as an assistant professor.
Okay, but that's a very good job.
Yes,
Would have
but
been,
yeah. After that, I declined that, and then I started I thought of doing something of my own, coming back here.
So, yeah, we'll get into this now, because that as soon as you came back, you got straight into your the journey of becoming an entrepreneur, and started with your first venture, Fruit Tales. But along this way, who were some of the people that were guiding you, or what was your thought process when you're gonna step into this line of business? And
So when I first thought of an idea for Fruit Tales, the first business venture which I started,
right.
The people who supported me was my late uncle,
Okay.
my late dad, and also my sister.
Okay.
So that's how we started actually. So my dad was not so much involved that time, but my uncle and my sister. So we started together in a kitchen, and my uncle and me were doing the production and delivery, and then my sister and my aunt, they were in the production team.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that's how
Then
we started.
I think why don't you, for the people that don't know about this, why don't you just tell us about your first business, Fruit Tales,
So-
and what it is and how it started?
So 2018, since I knew that there are lots of fruits grown in Nagaland, especially like passion fruit, the exotic fruits like passion fruit. Then we have our pineapple, which is one of the sweetest in the world,
Right.
and it's organic. So I thought, why not do something with the fruits? Because it was very difficult. Like I tried to send some to Delhi, sell in the market. At first attempt I did, but I couldn't go for the second attempt.
Okay.
So it became a little difficult. So I thought, like, why not I do something like I take the fruits and make it into juices and sell it to the Nagaland market. So that's how we started. We launched our product in 2019, I think. Yeah, 2019. After that, when we started that, 2020 lockdown. So that time, like, we were all like, everything shut, everything
Yeah,
was
of course.
stopped. Yeah, so we were thinking like, what to do next. Then everybody was like so health conscious. Everybody started working out at home, making videos, posting online.
Right.
So we thought like, why not do something different? Like, since food and all these things they were allowed to deliver and all. So we thought like, why not make our product such that we sell in the market for health conscious and all. So everybody were concerned about their immunity booster and all. So I thought of making a juice called Immunity Booster. That was the main product. So that's passion fruit and pineapple.
Okay.
So that's for boosting the immune system. So we started making Immunity Booster. Then we first friends and families through WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram. We started advertising. After that, within like 2 weeks, these people started uploading and it went viral. So we started making lots. Since it's immunity booster, and also everybody thought everybody liked the juice, and also they were very conscious about their health. So we started delivering, and I think in first month we sold more than 4,000 bottles just by delivering. So me, my sister, my uncle, my aunt, we were all working together at home. We were making in our kitchen, and then we started delivering. So that's how I started my journey.
Yeah. How was the packaging for this? Was it bottles
Yes. So first we started with PET bottle, PET, PET bottle. After that we shifted to glass bottles.
Glass bottles, right?
Yes.
And what about production? Because you said it was, you're saying small because it started from home or you were doing it from home, but starting to ship out 4,000, bottles in a month. How did you keep up with that?
So we did not have our fixed routine. Since we were getting too many orders from people, and also we came up with one product, and within 1 week again another product weight loss, then CC hydrate, coconut cucumber, watermelon. So all these products. So we start in the evening, we end our production in the morning around 4 or 5 in the morning. Then again delivery by 8 o'clock. So we deliver almost all the places in Nagaland. I mean, Dimapur, with minimum delivery charges.
Okay. What about do you ship your product outside as well?
No, we don't.
Just
since it's cold pressed and it's 100% natural. There's no preservative, sugar, or water.
Okay. So what's the shelf life then? How long does it stay?
So it stays for 3 days.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's instant. You have to order it right now and drink.
Yes.
Okay. And then, how does that affect? If you want to get into getting preservatives involved, and if you want to ship it outside and make this a product.
So if we want to ship it outside, we need to add preservatives.
Yeah.
In order to sustain the shelf life.
Of course.
So that I didn't want to do it because I wanted to contribute something so that it'll benefit our health. And also to get the real taste of our fruit. So basically it's when you don't get to try our pineapple or passion fruit, you get in a bottle. It is a form of liquid food. So that's how we started.
Okay, so meaning obviously if you add the preservatives, then it's going to change everything, including the taste plus also the health aspect of it, no? And how was the journey been for this venture, Fruit Tales?
So Fruit Tales, it was fun, and also I think this starting the journey for Fruit Tales, I think that's how I learned the real struggle, and also faced so many problems, and also knew what really business is. Because for me, when I see business and all, I see lots of non-locals doing the business.
Right.
And sometimes we think that it's easy. We have a big shop, then sitting, then collecting money. That's what I thought. But once I started the delivery, it's really difficult doing the delivery and also the production. So I think we have started from the scratch, without any proper help from the government. So that's how we started.
Okay. And from there, tell us how you progressed into the.
So after that, during that time, I also got into fitness. I started working out, gymming and all. So I thought why not open a gym in Chumukedima? Then this gym, I wanted to do something different because I think everybody cannot afford, especially the students and all. It becomes a little expensive also because I know that during my school days, paying 1,500 or 2,000 for gym, it's very expensive.
For a lot of people, yes.
Yeah, a lot of people. So I thought start some. There was already a gym in Chumukedima, but I also wanted to start because since I was also interested, and that time I go 5 times a week or 6 times a week. I work out like that. So I thought like, why not start something, but with little bit different. So we believe that, my family also always tell like, don't always take everything for yourself. Try to give little bit to the society. So I thought, why not start a gym, but also in a very like reasonable rate. Like we charge only like 1,000 for the students, and also like I think we don't pressure so much. If somebody wants to take part, go for competition and all, we let them work out for free and try to help them with the supplements if needed.
And how is this business been? Because I think COVID also played quite a big role in this. Like you were saying, I think a lot of people became much more health conscious after that also. Over the past, I don't know, just recently I would say like, over the past 5 years or so, you've seen this big boom in the gym in, the opening up of new gyms everywhere in Dimapur, Kohima and all that. So how would you describe maybe the competition of being in this business? Although you're saying that you're trying to do something different, keep the rates low so that you can also help, the ones who can't afford, but still at the end of the day, it's a business, right? So what would you say about like the different types of gyms? That there are lots right now. So how's the competition and how's the business aspect of running a gym? And
So there's so many good gyms. For me, I can say that mine is not the best gym, but also I try to provide the facilities, whatever other gym does. But also gym business is like owning a rent house, a building, an apartment. The income is very slow, but it keeps us going. It's like getting salary every month. So even though investment is a little high, one-time investment, it's a one-time investment, but return is slow. But at the same time, it helps us to keep going. It's like getting salary every month. So that's how it works. I think I would not suggest like, suppose if you have a certain budget and if it's your first project, spending all your money in a gym, I think the return will be very slow.
very slow.
Yeah.
And also, I mean, even if you're planning to open a basic gym, the investment is quite high for like,
Yes, because the equipments are very high.
Exactly. So, because it's usually just based on the membership, right? The income that you get, gym membership.
Yes, monthly fees.
Monthly fees and
Membership.
So there is a sort of ceiling limit on how much you can earn compared to like other businesses, right?
Yes.
How much do you enjoy this business? Because I know that you like to work out. You still,
So for me, I always tell my clients and my head trainer also, don't make it too serious. Don't make our gym too serious, because at the end of the day, people go to work, school, colleges, and they wait for the time, like 4 to 5, 5 to 6, whatever gym timing. They wait for it to come and work out. So I tell them also, let them have fun. Let them do of course, like guidance from the trainer, but also they should have fun when they come to my gym, when they work out. And also like we try to understand like sometimes the fees and all, we get very late. Actually, we are supposed to get like in the beginning of the month,
right?
but some people like they delay, and it becomes difficult for us to adjust with the other expenses also. But again, we also have to understand, because they're giving the 100% working out. Sometimes financial, it becomes a little difficult for some people also. So we don't force the clients, and I think that is also different.
And something about gyms is that there's this community that you build right within your own gym. Like some members will come and change, but most of it is like this core group. And how is that experience, and how are the relationships that you've built from there? And
So for me, I'm very lucky and blessed, I think, because my head trainer, he's like the face of my gym, and he have built a very nice community. We have a community. So there are around 8 to 10 members who works out regularly, and they are the one who motivates and inspire other like freshers or anybody who's starting up to join the gym. So I think we have a very strong foundation, like 10 to 12 boys who work out regularly. So we also consider them if they want to take part in competition or whatever they want. No? We try to provide them. Yes.
You try and finance their tournaments, or if they're going for something.
So I think having a strong community, fitness community within the gym also, it helps a lot to get the customer.
And this is Muscle Fuel. The name of the gym is Muscle Fuel.
Yes.
So I mean, we'll be plugging all your businesses, promoting them, putting up their logos and all. But just for people who don't know, in Chumukidima Muscle Fuel. And like that, from food tales to the gym business to now, we have plenty more to discuss. What was the next thing that came along your journey of being
So after that, it was our bridal boutique, Love
Right.
Bridal Boutique. So my sisters and all, like, she graduated and she came back to Nagaland, and she also had this in her mind that she wanted to start like a bridal boutique like that. So I also, like, me also, whenever there's a discussion about business or anything in the family, I always put my ears and nose. So I thought, like, yeah, that's a good idea. And also I started like telling her, we should do this, that, and all. So initially we discussed, like, there's so many bridal stores in Nagaland. Like, and almost every year there are new bridal stores and good ones, big ones coming up. So we discussed that if we start again, we have to start something different, or else, so what's the point of starting
doing the same
again?
thing?
Yeah, doing the same thing what people are doing. So we thought, like, why not do something very different that it'll make everybody happy and also give a fairy tale wedding to all the brides to be. So we thought, like, let's make the rate very different. We started the gown, like, we sell our gown from 5,000 rupees,
Okay.
which is like the first in Nagaland.
Sell meaning this is like you're selling it,
Selling
not rent.
retail,
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
not
okay.
rent. So 5,000 rupees for a gown. That's how we started our price range. And then we also started like rental. I think maybe not the first or maybe one of the first in Nagaland. So we start for 3,000 rupees for 5 days. So if we calculate, like, even a daily wage worker, it'll be easy for him to pay the fees, for especially for the rentals. So we made it 5 days so that, after the wedding also they can take their own time, and especially thinking about the brides coming from different districts, far away, like outskirts, no?
Right, right.
So it becomes easy for them to finish the wedding and programs and bring back the gown within 5 days. So that's how we started.
What's the like the main differences between those two? Because those two are the main aspects of this Love Bridal business. One is the rental, one is like the retail you're selling. Tell us, like, what are the pros and cons of both?
So this rental, it sounds very nice and also very good for the brides. But again, if you think our side, we cannot give the gowns to the for washing in washing machine or anything like that. So we have to hand wash the gowns after every use. Whenever the bride returns the gown, we have to hand wash. So behind the scene, it's very difficult. So we bring the gown at home, we have to hang it. We have a proper station where we keep all the gowns and we wash it, and we have to maintain the gown properly so that the next person who is going to take the gown
Should feel like it's brand new, yeah?
Brand new.
Yeah.
So I think that's how they feel, because we do like the gowns like goes a couple of times also. So I think that's what we do. And the normal retail, not much problem. We try to sell in the best rate, and friends, family, we always give discount. So
how are you competing with this? Because like you said, this is something that's in the market. Like, there are lots of other shops like this, like bridal wear. Some are like very high end, some are also on the lower end also. There's a bunch of them. So how are you competing? Where are you sourcing? Like how do you make a profit when there's so many?
We thought, like, people who have money, they will not buy from Nagaland. Because it'll be a just getaway for them also to go outside the country and buy the gown, So we thought, like, why not make it available for everybody who can afford, like make it reasonable and afford. I think this is why we're different if we compare the prices of the gowns. So I can clearly say that our gowns are very minimal rate, so that we can give back.
Okay. And then amongst the two, like the rental and the retail, which gives you better business, like overall? Or
So of course, like, it's the retail.
the retail.
Yes.
A lot of people say, like when you do business, try and avoid partnerships, or especially with family, because in the long term something will happen. And how has this experience been running this business with your sister?
So for me, yes, of course, doing business, money is very important. That's why we work. But within family, for me, 90% is taken care by my sister.
Okay.
So mostly I try to advertise, marketing, then I give my advice, input. So when it comes to Love Bridal Boutique, I think now that she's experienced, she has been doing that for past 3 years
Okay.
now. So she knows the line, where to get, and how to deal with the customers. So I think she have kept me in like the advisory board.
Okay.
I don't put my hands so
So
much.
she's more the hands-on person and...
Yes, now she's
Okay,
looking.
Okay. So I mean, we've talked about quite a few of your businesses, and then before we head on to, I guess, what we can call your main or your latest enterprise, two of them under the same brand, I want to just ask you like one or two general questions, or one main question, and that is like, you know how time is such an important asset for us, not just for businessmen but for anyone. You know, time is very important. So when you're, you know, when you've got your hands on so many things that's going on, how do you sort of, what is your method of time management? And also if you can just share with us like which ones are some of, you know, the ones that you give a little more importance when we're just talking about time, like, you know, when you allot more time for this business or that business, and how do you manage this?
So I try to go to all my businesses every day, all my workplace.
Okay.
So it's not like I stay for so many hours, but at least I try to go every day to all my workplaces, at least 2 hours, 2 hours, or maybe 3-4 hours. It depends on the work. So for example, gym, I don't have to go and sit there for like whole day also. So I go in the evening or early morning.
Okay.
One time I go. Sometimes when I have enough time, I go twice. But mostly I go once. And also like Chumukidima, like we know, like it's a small community there, and like people know most of the clients are similar faces. So now we know, like my head trainer, he's looking after everything. I think it's because of him also is one of the reasons behind that I'm able to give more time in my other work.
Things.
Yes. So yeah, and Love Bridal, my younger sister, she's always there. And also this cafe, Dimapur cafe, right now my main focus is in Kolkata because there are more people there, and also like very new to us. So one small mistake also, it become a very big problem and a reputation also.
I will definitely get into that. We'll get into that. I just wanted to know. So I guess it's safe to say that like most of your time is now invested in the Cafe Captain Americano.
Yes, so I try to be there for 15 days and in Nagaland 15 days.
Okay, you're splitting 15 days Nagaland and Kolkata right now. You're
Yes.
trying to keep that. Hey guys, this is the Shoutout podcast. I want to say thank you to everyone for your support. Always appreciated, and please do continue supporting us. This episode of the Shoutout podcast is brought to you by Cafe Captain Americano. That's Cafe Captain Americano. Do visit. Thank you for your support. Enjoy the rest of the podcast. Okay, so before we go too far ahead with that, let's come to the inception of Cafe Captain Americano. How it started. Because I remember this in the sense that, you know, we know each other from way back also. So I keep seeing your Instagram posts and, you know, Captain Americano, you start calling yourself that because of obviously your like for the drink, I guess. But how did this whole thing start? Tell us the story of like, you know, how...
So I really love Americano, black coffee. So I drink Americano every day. So I usually buy from Nagaland Coffee Cafe. Yeah. So I go there and get Americano.
Okay.
Most of the time, and I like iced Americano. So before I started this business, starting up my cafe, like maybe 3-4 years back. So whenever I drink Americano, I post Americano. Then I thought, why not? Just for social media sake, I'll post something different. Then I started writing Captain Americano, just to get attention, or maybe just playful, being playful. So I started like that. Then I post almost every day because every day I drink Americano. So I started posting, and people started asking, what is Captain Americano? Is it a new drink, or what is it about? So I just say like, you know, I just wrote Captain Americano. But again, I also thought that, you know, if I start a coffee shop, I will name Captain Americano. I've already planned that like 4 years back. Even though I did not tell others, I was just like posting it so that I keep the name in others, like our people's head. It'll be easy for me to market later on. So 4 or 5 years back, I started I started posting Captain Americano and all. Then my friend Vivito, Nagaland Coffee,
Right.
he's the owner. So he made a drink called Captain Americano because a lot of his customers started asking them like, what is Captain Americano? Is it available? So no, smart enough, he started a drink called Captain Americano. And then after that, like maybe after a year like that, I started this Cafe Captain Americano, and it was quite easy for me to market because a lot of people already knew Captain Americano.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's
Yeah,
how
like I
started.
said, even me, I keep seeing your. I mean, I used to keep seeing your posts. Like I was not sure like what you were trying to do, but because you were posting it so regularly and so often. And did you get any royalty from Vivito for naming the drink after?
I mean, like we have a very good friendship, and I think I also give like a lot of credit to him because he, as a brother and a friend, he always supported me.
Yeah, that's so nice.
Yeah.
And like yeah, so but specifically like how or what made you think, because like this is another business that's quite a lot. The boom is there. The coffee, cafe business is. We've seen it in Dimapur and Kohima at least. Quite a lot of them. What was your thought process in like why you want to get into this business and whether it was going to be successful? What made you think?
So for me, I started because I love coffee.
Okay.
So I love coffee, and I also wanted like a place not so serious. Like when we work and all, like we get too focused, serious. Like I want to have a peaceful environment where I can enjoy what I love to do, and also I can just sit, relax, and I think that's how I started.
Okay. Okay. So now you have decided to open up your cafe, and like we discussed, there were lots of coffee shops around. What were some of the things that you wanted to do to keep it different from others?
So actually, the time when I started, I had a vision. Like I also thought about like this will be my base, my first venture. I mean like in coffee industry, but also knowing the market, Nagaland market, it's not as big as other cities, other metro cities.
Of course.
Yeah. So I wanted to open. Actually, my main focus was to open outside Nagaland.
Outside. Okay.
But again, if I don't have a base, I cannot just go and open there. So I wanted to know myself, and I wanted to know the market, how it works, coffee, and it's not always like in my cafe. We're not only selling coffee, but we're selling different varieties of beverages and all. So I thought like, why not start here and make it a base here, then later focus in other states.
Okay.
So that's how I.
Okay. So your vision from the beginning was. Outside, basically the outside market was your target, but you wanted to set up your base here.
Yes.
And obviously let it be at home. How is, before we get into your first venture outside, how has this been running so far, and like, what are the plus minus of having this coffee shop?
So far it's good. Like, see, almost every week there's a new coffee shop or restaurant in Dimapur, Kohima, or Nagaland. So the customer and all, it's fine. We get like decent customers, people coming and drinking. We have regulars here, but at the same time, our market is very small. And also the flow of money, I think, is just within us. So
I think that's one thing that's for sure. Like our population compared, when you look at like cities, like you've ventured into Kolkata, but any other major city, we can't even compare. Like population-wise, having 1 or 2 KFCs here is actually more than enough for our population, right? Because when you go outside to bigger cities and all, every small street or colony or gully, maybe when you have an outlet like a coffee shop or a KFC or whatever it is, it's packed. Much more customers than what we have of our main ones. So that's for sure. When you first decided to, I mean, like you said that it was part of your vision that you wanted to set up shop. What was the reason behind Kolkata?
So Kolkata being a metro city and also 1 hour. It's just 1 hour flight from Nagaland, and they are food lovers. So Kolkata is also famous for street foods and foodie. So I thought that why not go to Kolkata, and I also have friends who supported me a lot in this journey. I think because of them only I could also go and venture there. So Kolkata being like a very neighboring state for us, and also a foodie place. So I think there was one advantage for me to go, because the locals, they love to explore and they love to eat out. So I think
food culture is there.
food culture is.
I mean, we'll discuss a few other things, but when I want to discuss a little bit about, because I think a lot of people will find this interesting. A Naga, entrepreneur, businessman setting up outside the state. So the usual things are like, how does it work? Like, where do you first go when it comes to maybe getting licenses and this and that? So just walk us through the process of how it was like opening up your new joint there in Kolkata.
So
Formality wise also, and I think.
first I think for so many years I've been going there to check the location and also to study the market. Then it took us almost 8 months.
Okay.
8 months to find the location where I've set up now. So we have to get a broker because it's not easy for us to just go, because in Dimapur we can just go around and check, ask people around whose building is this. And but outside it's very difficult. So we took I took a broker, and after that took almost 8 months to get the perfect location.
Okay.
And then that's how we got the
Location.
Yeah, location.
Then what about after that you have to start your paperwork in the sense like trade license or this. If
So there's so many running around. Like it's not like in Dimapur, just give a phone call or just go to the office, you do it.
Yeah.
If you go to the office, especially for a non-local, it'll take you like a year also. The work is very slow. So for that also we need to take a broker, and the charges are very high. So we had to take a broker for all the license, and we have different license: fire, pollution, sound license also for playing the music. Out here we can just play the music in cafe, restaurants, but in Kolkata or other metro cities, you cannot just play
very
music.
strict,
So you need to have license for that, and fire license. Every month we have training, or they come and teach like how to use the fire extinguisher and all this. They come and check the pipelines and everything like that. So there are so many licenses we have to do it before opening. And then we have to talk to the local councillors. We have to take permission there.
And for those that don't know, but your cafe there in Kolkata is like, food is a big part of it also. It's not just like a coffee shop, right? Like, food, and that specifically Naga food. How was that always part of your plan, and like how is that?
So since I thought since I'm going to the place where the people are crazy about food and exploring new culture, so I thought we'll put some items of Naga food, and also continental, Chinese, Asian and all. Then first 1-2 weeks we started with our limited menu, but after one of our videos got viral, so we did a collaboration with Kolkata Delights. So he's one of the top vloggers in Kolkata.
Food vloggers.
Yeah. So within 3 or 4 days, just less than a week, we got 2 million views.
Oh, that's
so after that, we started getting customers, a lot of customers. Then that's how we thought and we taking feedback from the customers. They wanted us to extend our menu. Then now it's less of a coffee shop and more like a restaurant,
right?
Yeah,
because
it's become like that.
I haven't been there, but looking at it on Instagram, that's what you get the feel that, or the vibe that is more like a restaurant and less of a coffee shop. Although the name is, Cafe Captain Americano. So, when you just mentioned about this, I want to ask you about the importance, or what you feel, how highly do you rate the use of influencers or vloggers or using social media to your advantage for business? Specifically for this one, you just give a perfect example, that guy, you collaborated and this happened, but for your other businesses also, how important has this been, the social media and using influencers and stuff?
So especially for small businesses and startup, if we talk about Nagaland, we think that I will do it by ourselves. But sometimes when we tell the influencers or the YouTubers, I think they are the ones who is who gives us the path to start the journey also. They really help, because one share or post about us, since they have so many followers in Nagaland, so people like to explore. So if they say something and if they try to post and share, so I think taking their help, it really boosts our business as well. And also if you think the other side, in Nagaland is so small and everybody is friends and families.
It's like the same people.
Yeah, few weeks or months, people might come, but I don't know about the long
To
run.
maintain,
Yeah,
like, that same number.
maintain,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
But influencers, like the one who does, like, I mean, in Kolkata, especially in metro cities, you know, for them one video is like, you know, there are lakhs and lakhs of people.
Yeah.
They come. So
Yeah, it's just different population size of, like, you know, what
Yes.
our small city is compared to, forget the metros, even like the cities like Guwahati and all is like very, very different. What do you think about paying you know, influencers and all? How much is it? Not like exact numbers, but like, you know, the value that you get out of paying influencers to advertise your place or business.
So, I think to all the entrepreneurs, like especially new ones or small business, we should also pay the influencers and YouTubers. A lot of times we say like, "Hey, it's okay, just do it
Yeah,
for
yeah,
free."
yeah.
I think it's not nice for us to say like that because they are also working a lot behind the scene, editing, then posting, and it's not easy. Like, especially, it's not easy to get like followers also.
100%.
Genuine followers. It's not easy. It takes years and years for them to be where they are right now.
Yeah.
So I think they should, we as an entrepreneur also should help them by cooperating with the numbers and like
Yeah.
the amount. And also I think, and the charges, like they also can't charge like how people charge from
Of course,
outside
yeah,
because our
yeah.
population
They should be
is also
reasonable
very
also.
less, and we're also like being a new business or new in the business, they also have certain budget.
Yeah.
So I think the budget should also match.
I think that's true. We have to take into account all the different factors, right?
Yes.
Like being a new business, and also on one side, I think even the influencers also, like, you know, are their numbers really their numbers? You know what I'm saying? Like some influencers might have X amount of followers, but is their impact or, you know, really like that? Like, you know, sometimes I think, I don't know if you've witnessed this, but like some influencers don't provide the value of what their numbers show on their accounts.
Yes.
So I guess that's something that should be a little wary of also when you're looking to reach out to influencers for advertising your product. Coming back to your Kolkata CCA, how was when did this open officially?
So it was
Launched
last
last
year September.
Last year September, so it's just been months only.
Yes.
How is in the short time, how has, you know, the journey been? Has it challenges you've faced?
Out there, every day is a challenge because see, our Naga people are so good when it comes to our Naga customers are so good. They don't complain much, and they're very like okay with everything. But out there it's very different. For small things also they will complain. Like we get a lot of challenges every day.
Okay.
So I think the first month it was normal, but from second month onwards, it became very hectic for everybody. Like we had less manpower beginning because I did not know that, like, you know,
The response would be that
yeah.
big.
So we started working, and there are times, especially in our Kolkata outlet, weekends. On the weekends, we have like 45 to 1 minute or 1 hour waiting outside. So people have to wait outside the cafe to come in, you know. have our food.
What's the capacity of your place in Kolkata?
So around
Seating?
30 to 32.
30 to 32.
Yes.
And the number of staff you have employed right now?
So right now we have around 14 staffs.
Most of them, I think, are Nagas, right?
Yes, since
That's a nice thing.
yeah,
I
since
saw
we
it.
coming from Nagaland, I wanted to show, like, you know, that we have our Naga staff and also our Naga people working. So I'm not being like racist or like trying to. I try to promote our local people, especially the youth, because many youth are unemployed now. So even in my cafe, I think there are like 6 Nagas right now, and all the front faces are all Nagas. I don't keep like non-locals there also. Behind the scene, yes.
I think that's a perfect segue into our next topic, which is, you know, we've talked a lot about your different businesses, but, you know, there's always some topics that I like to discuss with the guest on different, not just related to their businesses, right? But one thing is sort of related, which is in general about business or entrepreneurship. Doesn't have to be specifically for your businesses, but in general. Before we get into entrepreneurship, one thing is and you just touched on this, the unemployment problem. The unemployment problem in Nagaland is becoming worse and worse, and it's becoming, you know, a bigger and bigger issue. You told me that day when we were having this conversation that you wanted to discuss a little bit about this and how parental pressure or even societal pressure is there so much, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about that. Why don't you just share your thoughts first about this thing, this whole issue?
So mainly like Naga family. Somehow now it's a little better, but our community, we think that achievement is through like proper stable job, government job or anything. Not against government job. I mean like who doesn't love getting a good government job? But at the same time, like everybody is not gifted with the talent or to study, you know. So I feel like some people are stuck in this bubble. They're not able to get out of that, trying to prepare for the exam for 5-6 years or maybe 10 years, even though they have skills and other knowledge about their interest, but they're not able to come out of their bubble because their parental pressure and also the society, the community, they want them to achieve what they think is right. So I think this is leading a lot of youth and young people to unemployment as well.
I really feel like this also, that I mean, obviously, like you said, it's a very good job, worthy, noble profession to be a government servant. The amount of vacancies they have, and then the amount of tens of thousands of people who are vying for just that maybe 100 whatever post every year, is that pressure is too much, and like that's not going to solve the unemployment problem, right? But I think parents, you just said it, it's starting to change a little bit, but parents and society as a whole should be more accepting of other professions, as how they are super proud, and newspaper also will give felicitation, everything when it comes to government jobs, so I think that same enthusiasm shown towards other professions may be more encouraging for youth to get into different lines. And it's very sad to see some of our youth, like due to these type of forces or pressures, that they're spending years and years of their life in something that they might never be able to achieve, and then it's too late one day to like try something else. What are some of the say, like for example, obviously now there's sort of like a boom, slow, but you can call it a boom maybe, of entrepreneurs and young businessmen in Nagaland. I think we're startups a little bit, but just like businesses, we're seeing a lot of Nagas. What would be like some of the advice that you would like to give to people who are just first starting their first business or planning to start their, and whatever business it may be, just general advice?
So there are a few things we have to know, like now that there's so many entrepreneurs coming up, especially after the lockdown and the businesses, new ventures. Like I said earlier, like so many cafe, restaurants, or many new ventures. But at the same time, even if you have like enough capital, I think you should know where to put your capital, or especially for the one who's going to start up something like that. I think it's very important for us to study the market, not do what someone else is doing.
Right.
I think we try to follow the trend, especially in Nagaland.
Definitely.
If someone is doing a cafe, everybody will start doing it. If someone is doing, for example, doing a podcast, everyone will start doing it. I think we should know our capability, and also one more thing, like taking finances from the bank and all. Like a few things which I have seen and also I've learned is that I think we should also know how to take finances from the bank. Not too much loan from the bank that you will not be able to recover, because a lot of startup, a lot of businesses I've seen that their budget is very high with the business, but their income and the return is very low. So I think we should focus on that, and knowing the population and also the capacity of how much you'll get the customers. We should know like expenses should be like that.
What about when it comes to, like we talked about a little bit, when you talk about influencers or technology or just basically marketing, you like to do it a lot on yourself and all this, but how much do you think people should sort of give attention to this part of the business, which is the marketing or media?
Nowadays, like for commercial thing, I think social media is like it helps a lot, and also social media is a free platform. There's no harm using social media, Instagram and all. Instead, it only helps us like in our business. So using the influencers or YouTubers or anybody, any influential people, I think it helps a lot to run a business also. But maybe, I don't know about the long term, but when you are starting, in
Very
order to share the information about what you're doing, it letting people know.
You were just talking about this, about the finance. I mean, I think one of the reasons why a lot of youngsters who want to open a new business or have a new startup or whatever, one of the main stumbling blocks for them is finances. Not everyone is, lucky enough to have ready-made capital to invest in whatever. And also, availing bank loans is not easy in Nagaland. Whatever you want to say, like it's not so easy to just go and get loans, right? That's where I think I just wanted to share this thing. The Chief Minister's Microfinance Initiative. This is something that I came across. Someone shared it in a group. I've shared it to, all these groups and friends and all that. I think it's a really good opportunity. Are you aware of this?
Yes.
Yeah. So I think this is very good for people who are starting up small businesses, new businesses. You can avail this loan. We'll put up the link and everything, the PDF. IDAN has opened their office with a cell at the DMC office, the new DMC office, and they're there basically to help facilitate entrepreneurs who are looking to avail this loan. And so they will help you with your DPR and then help you with direct you to where you go to avail the loan. So I think these things should be appreciated. I mean, we love to always bash the government for everything, because and they deserve a lot of bashing also. But when at times there are things like this, I think we should publicize it more and also appreciate. So see Chief Minister's Microfinance Initiative. I think that's something that I just wanted to mention. You touched upon this a little bit, and you said about not following the trends or copying the trends. How important is that, being original, or even if you are doing something that's already out there in the market, how important is it to have your own niche audience or niche market and your own style of whatever it is that you're going to do?
I think especially when we see in customer point of view, everybody wants to try something different.
Right.
So when you have something a little different from the market, or when you bring something little Western or from other countries,
right,
our people love to try. And if it's good, I think you'll do well in the market. A little different, or else it becomes like the same.
Yeah. That's why I wanted to ask you something. You just mentioning it, the blend of modernity and our culture also. So what I've seen in your Cafe Captain Americano in Kolkata is that now obviously we talked about it, the food, and especially the Naga food, and that's now being a hit, and that's why it's doing really well. How important do you think it is to mix our culture also with our business, especially for when it's outside,
So when I started there, I felt like I'm representing Nagaland, because
Sure.
I think we are the first cafe in Kolkata.
Okay.
So Captain Americano is the first cafe in Kolkata. So I'm representing the whole of Nagaland, the culture. So I wanted to show a lot of people also still that a lot of people they don't know about Nagaland. It's happening still.
Yeah.
And our culture, our food, they haven't tried. So I thought little bit of Nagaland we have to give back to other states as well. People coming here, working in Nagaland, doing business from outside, from many parts of the country.
Yeah.
But I think it's time for us, because I believe that we are maybe the first generation entrepreneurs. So we should also go back. We should go to other states and also do business in other cities.
Definitely.
So that's how we started, and then started showing our culture, a little bit of our Naga tradition, food, letting them to taste also how Nagaland is.
I think that's nice. I mean, one thing that I usually have an issue with is, when people tend to overdo the culture part, too much of trying to sell that Naga thing, So I guess having a nice blend or balance of being a normal business also, but using our culture and that aspect, whether it's through food or music or whatever, clothes. No? One thing, and let's take a break from business. We've been talking about this the whole time. I think one thing that you wanted to discuss, and I'm very interested in this. Both of us are interested in football, rival team fans, but something that's been happening in Nagaland, which is getting a lot of media attention and everything. the Nagaland Super League. Just what are your thoughts about this? I mean, it's obviously the first season is not even finished; it's still going on. What? Yeah, just generally, like when you discuss this with your friends or whatever, like what are the things that you like about it, or some things that you wish you want to critique about Nagaland Super League?
So I think after so many years, they started again Nagaland. I mean, this football Super League, Nagaland Super League. I think it's a good initiative for the football culture in Nagaland, especially because sometimes we don't have big tournaments or the full state tournaments in Nagaland. So I think in Nagaland Super League, it will help a lot of youngsters or the youth to grow also, and also follow their passion. And I'm sure a lot of we don't see any Nagas outside Nagaland playing
Very
football.
few.
Yeah, so I think it will be a very good platform for them to start their journey. And yeah, I think it's a good initiative.
I've also been following. I think we just talked about this, but been following it, and if they, for me, the only thing is this: I really appreciate that this has come back. Like a state level league football tournament has come back. But if we really want to develop football and the sport, I think we both understand the importance of having like a proper league, not like a short-term league, but like a long-term league, and also very important. It's not easy, obviously, it's not easy, but to have like the grassroots, the focus on the grassroots, which may be like the second division, district leagues in every district, and that way we can see future Nagas in the future being in the big teams in I-League or ISL, and also hopefully sooner than later see them and representing the national team, because our state, like we say we're a football state, everyone loves football, this and that, but it's quite sad to see no representation in the Indian team, one, and also the big leagues, you see just one or two names, and you wish there were more faces, right? What do you think, like about the grassroots, and how it really needs to be developed if we're talking about like the next generation of Naga footballers and all?
So I think, Nagaland Super League, great initiative. It's a good initiative. But I think in order to promote, in order to see our Naga in the higher league, I think they should promote more, they should focus more on the grassroots levels, the young ones. Because I think right now, I'm not sure about it, but in a team, main 11, I think there are two below 20 or under something. I'm not sure about it. So I think most of the majority of the players are above 23, 24, 25
mid-20s,
years.
yeah,
mid-20s. So if you're going to play in a bigger league, I-League and all, I think ISL and all these things, 26, 27, starting a career, it's impossible.
A little late, yeah.
Yeah, and also like, I think if we want to, suppose the winner of the NSL, I'm not sure where it's going, but if they're going for...
I think second division.
Second division. No?
I'm not sure also.
I think most our criteria also, they don't fulfill
yeah.
in I-League criteria, because
we need our own stadium,
academy and all these things.
Yeah.
And when you see promoting the grassroots levels, I think there are hardly any 2 or 3. They're also owned by private sectors.
Yeah.
So we lack in infrastructure also, promoting the grassroots. So,
I mean, we are both somehow, involved in this indirectly. Not the NSL, but just the sport arena. And you also you're part owner of a club also. I think a lot of the owners, even though it's not fully our responsibility, I think a lot of responsibility falls on, like you said, private players, and the need for them to be more involved in doing things, even though the association and should be doing much more. I think if we keep waiting for them, it's not gonna work out. So for private players to we've seen a few football academies like for kids and all that, and I think that's the start. Like you have to have a lot of private players, people just like doing it for the passion, and that's how we'll start. What do you think about
So I think, especially like promoting the youngsters, we don't have proper infrastructure. So parents also, they're little reluctant to send their kids in academy and all, because other state players, especially Manipur, Mizoram and all. So I have some friends who is playing in a bigger league like ISL and all. So when I asked them like, what age did you join the academy? They said 10 years, 11 years. So they joined the league by 10, academy by 10, 11 because they have infrastructure, and then they have like, the academy have trust, the parents trust them. So they try to send their kids. But for us, I think we start very late when it comes to football. Yes, 10, 11, 13, 14, 15 years, they play local tournaments and all. But if they want to play in a bigger league or this, I think they should start very early.
Yeah, if you want to compete with at that level, we're not even talking about international level. We're just talking about it's necessary that we get in early. That's why, like I'm saying, like my son also, I send him to football coaching, and it's basic. They're doing it at a futsal ground, but whatever it is, I think it's very appreciative. I'm very appreciative towards Dimapur Football Club and Youngson and these people who are doing it, and other people who are doing the same thing also. It's like at least I keep saying this. At least there's like platforms like that where they can start training, even though it's the super basic thing. It's so nice that there are people like that who are doing this, and that's where I feel more people should be involved, and instead of waiting on not just the government but the associations and all to do these things for us. What is looking at NSL? I mean, we can't comment and judge so quickly because just half the season or whatever, the first season is not even complete. But looking forward, what are some of the things that you want to see happen with NSL? And basically, how do you want to see it progress?
So this time, looking at the league, NSL, Nagaland Super League, the football culture, it's rising again. So I think, but again, at the same time, if you see the club owners and all, just some days back, I was having conversation with some owners. It's very expensive running a league, running a club. Yeah. So the main question is whether they will be able to sustain or not the second time. So I think if they are able to do it for the next 2-3 years, then it will be good. Or else running a club, it's very expensive in Nagaland. And this NSL, the treatment they're giving to the players, I think it's like, I can't say like I-League and all, but it's very good, very good. And I think they're paying very well to the players as well.
Comparatively, right?
Yes.
I mean, I think I'd like to see, I don't know, it's hard on the owners, club owners, but a longer league, that's what I would want to see, if they can somehow put that together. And because when you talk about 1-2 months league, it's more like a tournament only, and you don't really have sort of like a season, right? And that's the one thing that we want to avoid. We have our NSF tournament at the end of the year, Royal Cup, whatever. Just the tournament comes, the tournament finishes, the tournament comes, the tournament finishes. So if they could sort of stretch it out into a longer league, and even for fans, I think that's more enjoyable, and also following a team, building a fan base, things like that. That's something that I want to see.
But again, if we look to that point, sustaining the league might be a little difficult for the owners.
That's why that's the difficult part.
So if we have big sponsors from outside to the club, at least club owners, I think then only it will be able to sustain. Or else in less than 1-2 months also, they are spending very high budget with no income, I guess.
Yeah. But I mean, not to disclose the source or the amounts and all, but we know the amount of money that is being pumped into this league. So when you're talking about those type of amounts, I think if the distribution is fair towards club owners, then sustainability is not too hard also. Depending on how it's utilized, we cannot confirm the amount. We cannot say it out loud because it's not confirmed and all, but we know that it's pretty big. So anyway, let's hope that this is a good start. That football in Nagaland has potential. So to having something like this reignites that, and hopefully we'll see more of our Nagas in the national level league or the national team. I really want to see a Naga person representing us in the national team. And when we talk about that, wrapping up, when we talk about the future, I want to end this podcast with you've already got your hands in so many things. When we're talking about the future, what are your future plans? When we talk about near and far future plans, what are your plans for CCA? And I'm pretty sure, I'm guessing it's lots of outlets and all, but besides that, if there's something else that you want to get into, and Why don't you share with us
So-
what you can?
So right now for future plans and all, I think this is it for now for me. And then I will be expanding my third outlet by end of this year.
Third outlet.
Yes.
Nice.
So we are still working on it.
Have you got a venue?
Yeah,
that
so
you
we're
can
still
share?
working on it now.
Okay,
So maybe like very soon we'll start advertising and all. So I think I'll be focusing more on my present business I have right now. And
And so it's safe to say that the Cafe Captain Americano is more or less now your main focus.
yes.
Okay. So we end our thank you so much once again for coming on this podcast. You're someone that I think, like we said, we're friends. We know each other from way back, and the trajectory that you're going on it's a very good sign. So I'm very confident that your success will only get bigger and better, because you're someone that's very humble, hardworking, and I think if you stay focused like this, the sky's the limit. So to end this podcast, we end with the message. So this is like, you can give one or two messages. Maybe one can be to your friends and family, and one to like the Nagas in general. So you can just take a look at this camera and take your time.
First of all, I would like to thank Brother Saleh and the entire team of Shoutout Podcast for organizing and showing such a beautiful show. Thank you so much for having me today.
Thank you.
And I would like, all my journey started because of the support of my family, my mother, my sister, my late uncle and my late father. It's because of them that I'm here and I'm trying to do things, because of their blessings. And to all the Naga watching, I want to thank for your constant support. I feel so proud and I feel blessed. Whenever I go out of the city, I feel proud to say that our Naga community really supports me a lot. Like opening a cafe outside, doing something different from the others. The support and encouragement I get from the people, it really helps me to grow. So I really want to thank everyone. And to all the people, those who are trying to do something for yourself, try to never give up, and also never underestimate the power of your determination. I want to say that always try to stay focused in whatever you do, and give your 100%. Be curious to learn whatever it is, and always think that starting from a grassroots level will give you the best result and the best fruit. That's it. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you once again, Mika, so much. Looking forward to see your business journey grow farther and bigger, and let's be in touch and give back to the community.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much.